Yeah. Where we at? See Simone.
Hi, and welcome back to Learning to Live in Translation, the podcast about what happens when language, culture, and expectation collide. I'm Simone. In our last episode, we spoke about London's unheard voices on our new series, Decoded. Today, we're taking a walk through a version of London many pretend not to notice, the unfiltered, unpolished, slightly tipsy, occasionally terrifying madness of the capital. This is not the glossy postcard London. This is London, and not just at 1:30 a.m. It's a London that echoes madness no matter what the hour. Raw, strange, loud, and absolutely unforgettable. Let's decode. First stop, public transport. This is a place full of different people, various energies, during the day, afternoon, and night. It's packed like a can of sardines, especially during the rush hour. People standing, sitting, babies crying, music pumping from headphones, people on video calls, and somewhere in between the noise, you'll find that stranger. The stranger who observes, but not a casual observer, the type to stare at you without a blink, without a shy glance to the side. Eyes piercing, trying to catch yours, almost scary. It happens to many. That uncomfortable look trying to draw you in, whether it's to exchange a conversation, whether admiration, unsparked aggression, or just plain madness right before your eyes, depends on your perception and whether or not you choose to entertain. My advice is to look away. There have been moments of breaking the awkward silence when a person will say, "What are you looking at?" Or "Why are you staring at me?" And then this can either escalate to ramblings of a confusing monologue, a threat, or a date proposal. Now, this can happen on the bus or the train. Looking over to the far back of the bus, you are bound to see some madness during the late afternoon rush hour, whether it's teenagers pretending to light someone else's hair on fire, or a calmer appearance of madness with someone trying to smoke, ignoring the rules and not caring about whether anyone else wishes to passively join them. Talking of smoking, this has happened on the underground train, or the tube as we call it, with a man who claimed to be a policeman.
You cannot smoke on the train.
I can't! I am a police officer and I cannot get arrested.
Now, if this is on the tube, you might wonder what happens before you even enter the tube station. Before you've even got to the train platform in the morning, there's craziness. I remember years ago walking down the stairs and witnessing a woman pushing past people. Someone complained and she turned around and said, "I kill you," and carried on walking. Yes, this happens in London. Lastly, a story of a time Isaiah and I went to Wood Green shopping centre. We had bought some stuff and decided to get the bus home. A long journey back, but quick when you're in good company. It was a late afternoon and the bus stop wasn't usually packed. Buses went by, collecting the passengers. And then we saw our bus. It was quite a cold day, so we couldn't wait to get on it. Now, the thing about bus drivers in London, if you actually move towards the bus, get your Oyster card out, they'll keep the doors open. If you just stand in the queue, they'll close the doors and start driving, which is normal, right? They assume all the passengers are now on the bus. So we saw the bus we needed. There were a few people in front of us. Two of them held the bus and got on. There was a woman in front of us and one of us said, "Excuse me," the typical polite statement to get someone out of the way. Again, normal. This woman suddenly, dramatically placed both of her arms out at her sides and started shouting, profanity belted out one after another. She basically said, "Can't you see my effing child needs to get on the bus?" Yet there was no child with her. We ignored and got on the bus. We looked from the window and saw her son was inside the shop near the bus stop. She screamed, "Hurry up!" Now, If this isn't mad to react like this to people being polite and to scream like that at your son, then we have different definitions of madness. Now, that was the last of public transport madness. Let's get off and walk. Next up, the strangers who involve you unwillingly into an argument. You're going about your day, minding your P's and Q's. For anyone progressing in learning English, this means minding your own business, keeping to yourself. Then you walk into a local store to buy some groceries and your ears suddenly peak as you hear a random argument. Here's an example that my friend and I experienced many years ago. We left our group of friends to go to a nearby shop. As we entered the shop, we heard the end of an argument between the shopkeeper and the customer.
Your teeth! Your teeth!
This was actually the customer accusing the shopkeeper of stealing. We walked quickly past to get the products that we went in there for. It carried on.
How are you charging that for a beer? Your teeth! Your teeth!
The shopkeeper was really calm, and then suddenly his whole demeanour changed.
That is the price! Get out!
The customer seemed like he was walking away, but no, he wanted to make a declaration. He walked up to us and asked,
You ever seen a Jamaican man starve?
Friend and I almost burst into fits of laughter. We just looked at each other and then shook our heads. Then the man burst into a poem.
Starvation, tribulation in the nation.
We moved away quickly, picked up some other products and paid. We didn't want to get involved in the foreign theatre of this situation. It's not worth intervening in an argument you partially heard about a beer price. Let's take a beautiful walk around the glorious parks of London. How about Hyde Park? Oh, but wait, what is this we see? A man walking around in just a shirt and the clown mask while everyone else is wearing coats as it's super cold. You stay as far away as you can, and then suddenly you hear him screaming,
Chips! Chips! I want your chips!
It's probably best not to entertain him at all. He seems drunk, and it's only the afternoon. You see, drinking doesn't have a time for some, and that's not a judgment, it's an observation. Some people will drink all night, fall asleep outside in an alleyway, and then wonder how they lost half their clothes and how they even got there. Yes, the madness has no time. What else can we find walking around London? Chants, especially after a football match. Drug dealers outside stations shouting,
Skunk! Skunk!
at you while the police zoom by, not wanting to do any paperwork. You'll find items that look like they've been thrown right out of 50 Shades of Grey in an alleyway. A parent throwing a tantrum while their children shake their heads in embarrassment. A cult leader trying to get you to join. And the mad weather, which sparks the most common conversation between strangers.
Oh, it's a bit nippy out here, love. Sorry, what?
She said it's very cold today.
Oh, yes, I wore 52 jumpers and I can still feel the coldness. It's a madness.
With all that said, London is home to many sane people. Not everyone walks around with clown masks unless dressing up for a party, and they normally wear trousers or a skirt at the bottom. Not everybody yells threats at strangers unless you've stepped on their new trainers. And not everyone argues over beer prices. They either drink it or they don't drink any form of alcohol. Next time on Decoded, we're delving into more laughable moments. Until then, keep talking to yourself. Keep laughing, and don't forget that pushing past people or saying excuse me while in London can both lead you to a soap opera real life scene. So for the tourists, what do? We'll discuss more next time. Thank you for listening to the episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm Simone, and this is Learning to Live in Translation.
Yeah. London. L-O-N, D-O-N. City we live in. Where we at, where we at, where we at,